Hello, my name is Christina Azmy, and I'm an assistant professor of teacher education at Catawba College in Salisbury, North Carolina. This is my first year teaching here. I just graduated in the summer from NC State University, where I was a graduate student in mathematics education. And during my time there, I was either a TA or the instructor of an online course where I implemented the Screencast Assignment. That course was mostly asynchronous with approximately bi-weekly synchronous sessions, and I gave this screencast assignment after about 5 weeks of material on teaching statistics with technology. In terms of what I emphasized to the students when they were completing the assignment, I emphasized that they should use the screencast for two main purposes. The first being to show what they were able to do using the software, which was CodeApp in this case. And the second purpose would be to model statistical habits of mind. And I did suggest to them on the rubric and when discussing the assignment that they should practice their screencast before recording it. I also described the assignment when I was describing the assignment to them verbally. This was not on the written assignment. I described it as sort of a way to practice a teaching demonstration to a student if they were a teacher. If they had a student who had been absent for the day and the class had done a statistical investigation, this was sort of a video they could record in order to have the student sort of make up the day. The data sets that the students used, the majority of the students used the roller coaster data set, but the state education data set and the vehicles data set was also used by some of the students. In terms of things that I noticed about the screencast submissions, one major thing I noticed was that it was very clear who had practiced and who had not. In addition, it was also very clear the students who purposefully had planned to include language demonstrating statistical habits of mind and who had planned on using more advanced features of the technology, for example, creating hierarchical tables and creating new columns with formulas. On the other hand, some students took a more minimalistic approach and investigated data mainly by overlaying measures of center and spread and answering the statistical questions sort of deterministically. So, for example, many of the students, when they were asked to compare the top speed of older roller coasters versus newer roller coasters versus more recent roller coasters, their method was to compare the numerical values of the means, and their sort of determination at the end of comparing those was that, yes, more recent roller coasters are faster. For grading the screencasts, I used a rubric to grade the screencasts. The major things I looked for when grading the screencasts was, number one, I asked them to identify a common core mathematical standard that might match the task they chose, and I was looking to see if there was a match there. Number two, I was looking at what types of ways they used the technology and if they demonstrated any advanced skills. Number three, I was looking at if they used appropriate statistical language and if they demonstrated statistical habits of mind. And then finally, I was looking if their video was the appropriate time length of around 10 minutes. I think that this assignment was really worthwhile in allowing pre-service teachers to investigate real data and also express their thinking in a way that was different than sort of the written investigations that I asked them to do in the course, because in this assignment they were asked to sort of communicate in real time and to consider the audience that would be watching the screencast later. And I also think it was useful because it sort of takes away some of the obstacles that a live presentation or demonstration might present for students who might find that sort of assignment anxiety producing. In addition, that recorded aspect of it allows or encourages pre-service teachers to plan their investigation rather than doing it on the fly, which we know is sort of an important skill for pre-service teachers to have, is sort of that planning aspect of it. Although I will say not all my students took heed to the suggestion to plan and practice the investigation before they recorded.